Fox Sports Trending now.
Yesterday, baseball's trade deadline grabbed the headlines. Today, we know a little bit more about the players with their new teams. In fact, in Los Angeles, the Dodgers will have Yu Darvish make his start against his first start in a Dodger uniform, that is, against the Mets coming up on Friday. Darvish will also wear number 21 with the Dodgers. The latest comes to you thanks to TrueCar. When you're ready to experience a better way to sell or trade in your car, check out TrueCar.com/trade today. The Seahawks gave safety Cam Chancellor a 3-year extension. It's worth $36 million with $25 million guaranteed, according to the NFL Network. No throwing today for Panthers quarterback Cam Newton, who had a sore shoulder, while offensive tackle Ryan Clady is retiring after 9 seasons in the National Football League. And Bloomberg is reporting that Beyonce is considering purchasing a small portion of the Houston Rockets as the team is up for sale.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set, just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
Finally, Clemson Sports Talk has come back to Columbia. Hello, everybody. Lawton Swan back at it once again. 316 Greystone Boulevard. Fast-paced, action-packed. Hurry up and no-huddle sports talk programming for you. Fox Sports Radio 1400 in the Midlands. Heard around the world on the iHeart Radio app. Download today. It's free. The Clemson Sports Talk app also free. Our thoughts, opinions, the artist formerly known as Lowell the Intern's work, free, here for you on the show that shakes the Southland because Rudy was offsides, doggone it. 803-978-1832. You can text the program via the Ocean Reef Resort text line. That's 803-450-0086. Clemson Sports Talk committed. 5-star coverage of your 5-star program right here for you each and every day from 6 to 8 p.m. and online, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. That's ClemsonSportsTalk.com. And if you go over there, you can listen and watch the show. Yeah, I'm rocking the CrossFit Optimize today, Lowell. I'm trying to optimize myself, baby. That's what we're talking about. Lowell the Intern, formerly known as, in the building. Dare I call him the producer of the program? Lowell, what's going on, my man?
Bada boom. Realest champs in the room. How you doing?
I'm good. I tell you, it's one of those days where we shift away from the beach music hits of yesteryear. We turn our attention to the hip-hop parade that we've got. Hip-hop parade. Oh. Yeah. Do we have that over there? No. No hip-hop parade?
We'll never have that over here.
Okay. But what we do have is Alan Moff coming up to talk about Kent State. That's at 6:20. Should be a lot of fun. We'll also cover the NC State Wolfpack in hour number 2. It's our 2-a-day series here on the show that shakes the Southland. Again, you say, that's awkward. Why you running that NC State so early? Well, because we've got fine feathered friends that peek over the fence, and they open the season up in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, against the Wolfpack of NC State. That's an interesting ball game because I get the feeling from talking with some of my Gamecock friends around here, and I use the term friends loosely, I get the feeling that they really don't understand how good this NC State defensive front might be. And I'll tell you this, from being at the ACC kickoff and being around Dave Doran just a little bit, he seemed pretty confident about where his ball club is. And when you reset the clock to 2016 in that matchup in Death Valley, man, forget Pitt in the field goal to win it at the buzzer. I get it. Pitt walked out of Death Valley with a win. That blemish should not be printed on Clemson National Championship memorabilia or footballs. That's a game that just needs to be stricken from the record. That's a game that I don't want to reflect upon.
I go the other way. I like to reflect upon it. Because what if Clemson hadn't lost that game? Would they be the national champions?
Probably not. By the way, we're going to be talking with the folks from Inside Pack Sports on Twitter there, Inside Pack Sport, coming up in a little bit, 7:20. But, Lowell, I'm going to tell you this about NC State. And I mean this wholeheartedly. Even though Pitt beat Clemson and Pitt ran the inside shovel pass enough that now Brent Venables is just seething to get his hands on anybody that's willing to run that play against Clemson's defense at this point. The only team on that schedule, outside of maybe Alabama when they were up 14-0, where I realistically thought, and I mean really was buying into, boy, we're in trouble, was that NC State game. I know being down against Louisville, I know being down against Florida State, but NC State, for Clemson to have managed to find a way to win that game, that probably speaks more about the moxie that this team had than winning against Louisville, than winning against Florida State, even though you trailed in both of those games late. The Florida State victory, I can't be dismissive of that because it was on the road. In those other three games, the Louisville, the Pittsburgh, and the NC State game all took place in Death Valley. But come on, man. That's the game that got away. I guarantee you, Dave Doran, if he's living in the rearview mirror, that Clemson game is haunting him because that's one where they could have come in and really rocked the world of college football last season. So many good games, though, this past year in Death Valley. So many people excited about the future schedule. And if you want to keep up with that, let me give you a little tip here. Head over to Twitter, @Clemson Sports. Our brand new, just released schedule wallpapers featuring Cleveland Farrell, Christian Wilkins, and Hunter Renfrow for your iPhone or Android device are out. We also have them over on our Facebook page. Now, Lowell, I typically go in hard and heavy on the creation of these things on my own. And looking back on last year's schedule wallpaper, which I thought was quite a hit for a lot of people. By the way, if you're watching live on YouTube, I'll give you a little sneak peek there. You can see it pretty well. As good as last year's was, I think these are better. And in all honesty, I think this is the best wallpaper I've ever created. Now, I understand I'm kind of the boss here, and anything negative that you say against me could go terribly wrong for you in terms of future potential earnings here at the show that shakes the Southland. So, listeners, keep that in mind when he comments here. Lowell, your thoughts on the three unique wallpaper schedules that we put out? If you are just getting your hands on a wallpaper schedule for your phone, you will notice there are some teams in gray. Those are the road games. To give you a subtle look, didn't want to do home or away, didn't want to do any of that. Just give you the dates, the teams, and the colors. If it's gray, it's a road game. Lowell, your initial reaction to the brand new Clemson Sports Talk wallpapers that we released just moments ago over on Twitter @Clemson Sports.
Well, it's funny. On my laptop, I still have last season's wallpaper. So I've been waiting.
Yes, for the new.
Waiting patiently for the new Clemson Sports Talk schedule wallpaper.
Well, I talked to Clemson Craig today, and he said, great, because I've got to update mine. He had put one of the national championship wallpapers on his phone that we put out in January after Clemson won the national title, and he sent me a screenshot and still had it. I loved the Deshaun Watson one that we did last season because you kind of knew where this team was probably headed, which was going to be back to another great season with him and all the weapons that were there. This year I had so much fun with it, though, simply because I took some grief late last year. Which copy of last year's do you have? What does it say on it at the top? Does it say 2000 and whatever Orange Bowl?
2016 ACC champions, 2016 Orange Bowl champions.
Okay. The initial one I put out, and people gave me heat, I had national runner-up in the Orange Bowl. But people were like, no. Listen, we're not celebrating being a runner-up in anything here at Clemson. So I had to go back in and redo it, and I added the ACC title and the Orange Bowl title. Of course, Clemson losing in the national championship game 45-40 2 years ago. This past season, though, bringing home the Natty, and with the revamped Clemson Sports Talk logo with the 5-star coverage and 5-star program, whoo! Shamelessly, I am digging it. I'm digging it. I think my favorite is probably Christian Wilkins just because he's such a monster. But there is some subtlety to Hunter Renfrow that I really appreciate as well.
So you have not yet released the computer wallpaper.
The computer wallpaper is set to come out at the top of the hour here.
So I'm just going to have to hang out with the 2016 version for a little bit longer.
Just, well, our Slack channel, private communications between me and you and Zach, it is available to you. So you can get the sneak peek insider copy of it. The bootleg, well, it's not a bootleg.
Do I show the camera?
It's a pre-release. I've taken some photos and put it out on social media. So people have seen it, I am sure, at this point. 803-978-1832. Lowell the intern, Lawton Swan, again, coming up here on the program. Alan Moff. He covers the Kent State. Are they the Golden Flash or the Flashes now?
I think they're the Golden Flashes.
The Golden Flashes. Okay, I couldn't remember if they had dropped the golden from it and just became the Flashes. But nonetheless, here on Clemson Sports Talk tonight, we'll dive into a host of topics, and all of our guests join us via the DNC Trucking and Transport guest line. Lowell, Clemson, Kent State, not going to be at the top of the most watched games in college football. I think that's safe to say, although there is a unique dynamic here that it is Nick Saban's alma mater that gets the first shot at the Clemson Tigers. So you've got that side of the coin, I guess, in terms of this matchup between Kent State and Clemson coming up. But what are the top games in the country? Well, according to Sporting News, in their countdown of the top 15 games in college football, number 15 is Stanford at Southern Cal. That's September the 9th, again, very early in the season. But think about this from the perspective of Southern Cal. They are a team right now with Coach Clay Helton in his second season after the entire thing that happened with Steve Sarkisian. Clay Helton gets the keys. He takes over this program, and the players are really behind him. The players really like him as a head coach. And because of that fact, much like what you've seen at Clemson and much like what you saw at Southern Cal, I think when Pete Carroll was there, players who love their coach will work hard not only during the games, after the games, before the games, preseason, postseason, nutritionists, sleep specialists like Clemson just added the other day, which we'll get into a little bit later. I wish Coach Swinney would send me a sleep specialist. I could utilize one. But in terms of Southern Cal and their hopes to get into the college football playoff, which is where they truly want to be. I mean, that's where this team always feels like they should be.
And spoiler alert, I may or may not have them in my Final Four.
We'll find out what Lowell or how Lowell's got them. But got a great quarterback in Sam Darnold. He's the toast of college football in terms of the quarterback position in 2017. Lowell, you're shaking your head. You like what you see from
scary.
Sam Darnold?
He's scary. He's very good, yes.
That's number 15 on this list of games that are must watch. Number 14, LSU at Alabama. late season, November the 4th. You've got Ed Orgeron, the new head coach at LSU, still trying to find an identity offensively. Matt Canada comes in from Pittsburgh. Now they've got a revamped offense with the shovel pass down on the bayou, bringing the heat. And they are a team still that is arguably, in terms of talent for talent, man for man, LSU is one of the top teams in all the country. The problem is the other guys on the other side of the field have been the top team in college football for a long, long time. This should be another great game. The difference is, by this point in the season, if LSU can find an offensive identity, it could really change the vibe and complexion around November the 4th. And ultimately, if LSU's good outside of, this game the rest of the season, this could be one of those games where perhaps both of these teams are still vying for supremacy in the Western Division of the SEC, which for Alabama, you feel like in the modern college football playoff, I know we saw last year Ohio State not win their division and not play in their conference championship and get in. But you feel like in this day and age, you still have to get there and do that. And for Alabama, this is a big matchup, man, because if LSU's rolling by November, look out.
If LSU suffers another loss, that would make it 7 losses to Alabama in a row. At what point does this start to become a little bit irrelevant nationally?
I mean, can you imagine at this point? So Clemson's won, 3 straight games against South Carolina, and Tiger fans have kind of broached the subject quietly, maybe in private conversations, that this thing could run out to 6, 7, 8 games just off of the heels of being beaten 5 consecutive times by the Gamecocks. Clemson Tiger fans really hoping, I think, to put a little stamp on this thing so that the 5 bombs are so far removed, because now Clemson's got 8 wins in a row or 9, and that may sound ridiculous, but that's certainly a goal that I think is out there for people. When you look at LSU right now in this matchup, Lowell, you can't help but think, man, if this thing were to stretch out with another loss for LSU, how incredible that run would be, given the fact of how good both of these programs traditionally are. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, this is not, this is Alabama whipping up on Vanderbilt. This is LSU. So I'm with you, man. That's a big, big deal, simply given the fact of how good these two teams are traditionally. Absolutely. I'm all in with that one. We'll try to get through the top 5 here of the 15 best games to watch, and then we'll get to Alan Moff from Kent State coming on the program to talk with us about the Golden Flashes. Number 13, Texas at Southern Cal. Huge game for Southern Cal, again, because they're trying to get back into the college football playoff. But for Texas, with Tom Herman, new head coach coming over, of course, they got rid of Charlie Strong, who did a lot to change the complexion of that program in terms of the players and the character of the players on the field. But Texas demands victories. And last season, you had a matchup early on in the year between it was Texas and
Notre Dame
that looked like you had a couple of really good teams. Turns out neither one of them was very good, as Notre Dame finished 4-8. But nonetheless, here you are, Texas, Southern Cal, very early in the season, and a chance for Texas, if they were to win this, to prove themselves early.
And a great quarterback matchup. We talked about Sam Darnold, the young quarterback at USC. How about Shane Buechele, the young quarterback at Texas?
You like some Buechele, don't you?
I love Shane Buechele. I love the way he plays.
He looks so good in that Notre Dame game at times. I thought, whoa, we got a new player. We got a new player on the scene. All right, number 12, counting down the top 15 games in college football in the 2017 season, as the season is right around the corner. Number 12, LSU at Florida on October the 7th. I love this matchup. This would absolutely be a game that I would want to go see if I had an opportunity to just go watch any football game. I don't care where they're playing it, LSU and Florida. Love it. But again, offensively, this could be a stagnant ball game. Michigan versus Florida in Arlington is number 11 on this list.
Talk about a stagnant ball game.
Big city venue. And number 10, one where the scoring will be plentiful, Oklahoma at Oklahoma State, November the 4th. We come back. We talk about Kent State. Stay with us.
our 2017 iHeart Radio Music Festival, hosted by Ryan Seacrest. Over 20 of the greatest performers on the planet, September 22nd and 23rd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Listen to win your trip starting Monday. State Farm Neighborhood Sessions celebrates great artists who inspire us to give back to our neighborhood. Head to neighborhoodsessions.com to check out what these artists did for their communities and find out how simple it is to help yours.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the 2016 college football national champion, Clemson Tigers.
Selfishly speaking, here on the show that shakes the Southland tonight, our two-a-days kicking off as we head towards the college football season. Lowell, the beach music's gone. You got the beats bumping in the background. I'm happy about that. I've loved the beach music, but the summer is done. We turn our attention to the pigskin and the gridiron, and the Clemson Tigers open things up this season, September 2nd. High noon. They'll take on Kent State. The Golden Flashes coming to town, and coming to the show that shakes the Southland tonight, Alan Moff, who covers Kent State. Alan, man, welcome in. Appreciate your time, buddy.
No problem. Thank you, man.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Look, I'm looking at the schedule for Kent State earlier today, and we always talk about the big-time programs in America scheduling up. Go out and play somebody. Give us a marquee game. Give us Florida State, Alabama to open the season. I tip my cap to the Golden Flashes because after back-to-back 3-9 seasons, they're not scared to go out and open it up. Having Clemson, Louisville, you guys also have, of course, Marshall on that schedule. That's a daunting task nonetheless out of conference.
Boy, you got that right. A little too daunting maybe in a lot of ways, but, yeah, you can't say they're ducking anybody, that's for sure. I know Clemson and Louisville were both really good when they scheduled them. I don't think they expected them to be quite at this level, but it is what it is, man. You got to go get it.
I heard that. And let me ask you, when you look at the situation that Kent State's in this year in terms of Paul Haynes, head coach, coming into this year, again, we mentioned the back-to-back 3-9 records, and I understand and you understand this is not Power 5 college football, but fan bases still hold their coaching staff's feet to the fire in terms of college football. It doesn't matter where you're playing, you gotta win. Does this feel like a season to you where if things don't go well for the Golden Flashes at the end of this campaign, they may be looking for a new head coach?
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that. This is a contract year. He's still operating under his original contract that he signed when he took over the program in 2013. So this is it. I mean, yeah, and they've, 4-8's his best season. They made progress in a lot of areas. Sure. I mean, it's Kent State. You're talking about a team that has little.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Allen?
Long run of really, really tough years. So that being said, but yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. You still got to win football games this day and age, and there's no question that they need to show something. They need to show some improvement. Not just things that you can point to, and certain areas. You got to win games, and there's no question he knows that. And they go into the year absolutely thinking in those regards.
Alan Moff here on Clemson Sports Talk previewing Kent State as the Tigers will host Kent State at noon September the 2nd to kick it off. I did find this as one interesting dynamic of this game, and I know it won't have much to do with the outcome, I'm sure, but the fact that this is Nick Saban's alma mater is not lost on me at all. I actually read his book a few months ago, and he talked about his time there, and when I saw down the line that this game was scheduled and Clemson had won the national title, I thought, oh, pretty interesting for old Nick. He might give a little call to the Golden Flashes and give him a little pep talk.
Knowing Nick a little bit as I do, and knowing Nick a lot from the people that know him, through the grapevine type thing, I would be shocked if he did anything like that, because he would be afraid somebody else might find out about it and use it against him in some way. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to talk about. Obviously Nick is, actually Kent State played Alabama last year. It's kind of funny. The last 3 of the last 4 years they've played either the team that's coming off the national championship season or the team that would ultimately win the national championship, which was Ohio State a few years back. So, but yeah, they took on Nick last year in Alabama, and 48-0. Nick kind of probably took it a little bit easy on them, I would say. But, yeah, I mean, they're kind of used to playing these types of teams as much as you can be. So, but, very tough. I mean, the talent gap is obviously just as big as anyone would think. And, you just got to, if you can't go in there and try to find some positives, try to dig some positives out of it. And the main thing, just stay healthy.
Well, and speaking of Nick, let's talk about the senior quarterback, Nick Holly, who moved from the slot position over to the quarterback spot last year. Talk about his versatility at the QB spot. And again, when we watch games, that's the guy that's, the straw that stirs the drink, the quarterback. What can Tiger fans expect to see from him in the opener?
He's an interesting guy. He's not very big. He's about 6'1", 190, but very elusive. He's a kind of from the quarterback spot, the fact that he's not too big kind of helps him. He's hard to find. He kind of reminds you of Julian Edelman a little bit back in the day when he was a quarterback at Kent, to where, just a real quick, very instinctive runner, a tough kid probably to a fault. If anything, he needs to go down a little easier at times because obviously, he's such a big part of the team, and an injury to him. They had so many quarterback injuries last year. They actually lost 3 quarterbacks in the first 4 weeks, and that's how he ended up getting thrown into the fire. And it actually ends up, being a good thing because he really showed some things. And now that they've had an entire off season, with him back throwing the football. I mean, you're talking about a kid that hadn't played quarterback since the high school year, his senior year in high school. So the fact that he's even able to throw the ball with any success was pretty surprising, to me. But obviously, you need to get much better, and you would hope that now that he's had an entire offseason to work on timing with his receivers and that type of thing, that he's able to do that much better and a little more consistently, so where teams can't just load the box on him like they did last year.
Alan, I couldn't help but notice, I'm looking at the roster and the offensive line, and I think about Clemson's strength this year being that defensive front. There's a couple of young guys there, but I also know that Stefano, is it Millen, I believe is how you pronounce his name, is one of their top returning offensive linemen. How do you think their offensive line will match up against what may be one of the best defensive fronts in the country?
Well, I would like Millen's chances, of holding his own. But as a unit, it's going to be real tough. I mean, they've really, to be honest, struggled since the offensive line has been a struggle since Paul took over. They had the year that before he got the job, they were a top 20 team, played for a MAC championship, kind of came out of nowhere, and they had 2 offensive linemen one by the name of Brian Winters, one by the name of Josh Klein, who are now starting in the NFL. So that had a lot to do with the success, probably as much as anything.
Sure.
But, since then, you don't replace guys like that at Kent State. I mean, you have a problem replacing guys like that at Clemson. So they've been, really trying to gel that offensive front, and it's really not happened. They've had some injuries. They've had some very strange things happen to players up there, and that's a huge part of it. I mean, they were kind of a more zone blocking type team in the past. When they put Holly in there, they became more of a kind of a straightforward physical blocking team, and I think that kind of fits them a little better. So they're hoping that, once again, with an entire off season to kind of prepare to play in that style, that they can be a lot more formidable up front this year as well.
Well, listen, Alan, man, in about a month, we want to get you back on the program the week of the Clemson-Kent State game to talk about it and preview it. I know that you're about to put your nose to the grindstone, man. Good luck this year, and best of luck on your coverage and travels as you keep up with the Golden Flashes.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks a lot, man.
There he is, Alan Moff. Again, follow him on Twitter at @AlanMoff_RC, joining us via the DNC Trucking and Transport guest line. Like that guy, Lowell. Sounds young. Lowell. I'm going 24. Alan Moff is 24. That's my guess.
I have no idea. I can try to find out.
Yeah, we should verify that. He might be on the line. Pick it up, see if he's over there. Ask him how old he is. I know we got to hit a break here coming up. I'm taking 24. Will you take the over, the under?
Well, he's a father of 2 children, so I'm going to take the over.
Okay, got a young voice. I'm taking the over as well. Alan Moff, again on Twitter, at @AlanMoff_RC, and we'll get him back on the program again in about a month ahead of that Clemson-Kent State matchup. This team, I'm telling you, offensively, holding their own on the front line is going to be tough. You can expect, I think you can expect to see this team try to move the ball more so on the ground with Holly's legs than through the air with Holly's arms, because I'm not sure Holly's going to have much time to toss the pill. Stay with us.
The solar eclipse is coming. Watch it safely and in style with your free eclipse glasses available right now at all Pit Stop convenience stores. That's right, Coca-Cola and Pit Stop are partnering to give a pair of eclipse glasses to every customer who buys a Coke product at Pit Stop. Absolutely no catch. Just buy a Coke product and get a pair of commemorative glasses free. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last, so hurry in, because like the eclipse, if you miss it, you miss it. Want free eclipse glasses? Don't stop till you're at Pit Stop.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devine Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devine Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
Have you been thinking about sprucing up your yard, debating between pine straw or mulch? Call my friends at Carolina Turfgrass to get your yard looking as great as mine right now. I chose to go with pine straw this year, and it looks incredible. Carolina Turfgrass is conveniently located at 5400 Augusta Road in Lexington, and if you need your order delivered, they can take care of that too. In addition, Carolina Turfgrass carries a wide variety of turfs, including Centipede and Bermuda. For unmatched quality and service, call Carolina Turfgrass, 446-6525. Look for Carolina Turfgrass on Highway 1 in Lexington.
From the 2 men in a truck, movers who care, weather centered, shaping up to be a nice night with gradually cooling temperatures, eventually overnight lows near 70 degrees under mostly clear skies. On Wednesday, another nice day, high temperatures reaching for the lower 90s, lots of sunshine. For Channel 25, ABC Columbia, I'm meteorologist Greg Armbrecht.
This report is brought to you by Midland Air Service Experts. Is your AC not as cool as it used to be? Contact Midland Air Service Experts and save $55 on a precision tune-up. Regularly $124, now $69. Call Midland Air Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. That's 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
Follow Clemson Sports Talk on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Now more of Clemson Sports Talk. Take it away, Dad.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. I run New York. I get it. I get it.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan, the beats in the background, 50 Cent. Oh, my goodness, I'm feeling good about myself. Man, we had Alan Moff on the program. We're taking the over now on that 24. Taking the over on that 24, Alan. Sorry, bud. Lowell looked at your picture and gave me a heads up that you had 2 kids. We're taking the over. Very youthful voice, though, nonetheless.
I am 24.
Sounded younger than you, honestly. You were kind of the measuring stick I had on that one. Sounds younger than you. Coming up on the program in just a little bit, we'll preview the NC State Wolfpack for our Gamecock friends here on the show that shakes the Southland, as the folks from Inside Pack Sports will join us. James Henderson going to talk about Wolfie. Yeah, my daughter may very well embrace the Wolfpack. My daughter may very well become a fan of the Wolfpack. Yes. Yeah, you know what my daughter does? My daughter is she's a pistol. There's no other way to put it, Lowell. Now, she runs the house. She sticks her tongue out at you. She is an absolute pain in the rear end. Love her to death. But she is all those things. Love you, Bryn, if you're listening. But she is a pain in the rear end. She is in charge. She is 5. She has been in charge since the day she was born. Lowell, when she was born, she weighed 10 pounds, 3 ounces. I've told this story before. Every other kid in the nursery at the hospital looked like they were malnourished. She was so big. She came out smoking a Marlboro. You could not believe it. Kids called her ma'am from the get-go. Incredible. She sounded like your Aunt Mildred, if you have an Aunt Mildred.
I do not.
I picture Aunt Mildred sounding kind of like this.
I do not have an aunt that sounds like that.
If your Aunt Mildred doesn't sound like this, there's something wrong with your Aunt Mildred. Believe me. Do you picture an Aunt Mildred sounding very light and fluffy? No? I don't. But she is in charge, buddy. Today we're playing a game. You know what she told me just to get under my skin? Go Gamecocks. She was like, I like the Gamecocks now. I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. But she did see the picture of the Wolfpack, and she's a big fan of the Big Bad Wolf. I mean, that's her story, man. If there's a go-to story for my daughter, it's the Big Bad Wolf. And she's like, ooh, Dad, I like those mascots. I like the way they look. She's like, can I get my picture made with them? Yeah, maybe after Clemson drags them up and down the field for a couple of hours this football season, we'll go down there and get a picture with Mr. and Miss Wolf, if you know what I mean. 803-978-1832. Lowell, what?
Well, I know your son is a bit of a front runner. Will he become a Wolfpack fan if NC State happens to beat Clemson?
No, listen, he cried when Pitt beat Clemson. You know, his first 5 years of existence, he started 0-5 against South Carolina, and I remember as a parent thinking, did I really bring a child into this world to go 0-5 against South Carolina in his opening years of life? I mean, that's what happened.
The good news is he won't remember most of them.
No, as a matter of fact, what he remembers is being at the national championship and rarely losing. Like, now, he just can't fathom getting beat. Losing is not an option. When Clemson lost to Pitt, you would have thought, you really would have thought we just wrapped up an 0-12 season. I mean, you had to, and if that game comes on still, he kind of gets a little tinge of emotion in his eyes because he knows the outcome's not good. Yeah, it's Clemson, you have made a not healthy life for kids who are about 8 years old right now. Because he started.
Try being 8 years old in the Tommy Bowden era.
Yeah, that was I'm a basket case of emotion.
Oh, I was all over the place.
Or no, a glass case. What does he say, a glass case?
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Yeah, that was the Tommy Bowden years. We love Tommy, by the way. He'll be a guest on the program every Thursday. As long as he wasn't listening to that last segment, he'll be here with us. We were talking earlier about the top 15 games, the top 15 must-watch games in 2017 ahead of the college football season. And we left off at number 10 with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Again, that one November the 4th, and could very well be a matchup between a couple of undefeated teams if Oklahoma could find a way to beat Ohio State in week 3 of the college football season. Number 9, Miami and Florida State. Old school rivalry, old school college football. Wide right, wide left. You're talking about two of the blue bloods of college football in the 1980s. Florida State and Miami. Mark Richt back at Miami. Mark Richt was formerly a Miami football player. Again, at the ACC kickoff, seemed very confident to me. I think he likes what he's got there. I think the fact that he was kind of run out of Georgia, given how good he was at Georgia, I think he's rip-roaring and ready to go in his second year down in Miami. They take on Florida State on the road September the 16th. Number 7, Clemson, Auburn. Game 2, September the 9th. It's a big one for a couple of reasons. One, for Auburn, it's a stepping stone, pecking order type game. You get a victory over the defending national champions, put a feather in your cap and move forward. If you're the Clemson Tigers, and you get a win over a team that's projected to be probably second in the West in the SEC, all of a sudden, that September, not over with because you still got Virginia Tech and Louisville, but hurdle 1 out of the way, and perhaps another week for Clemson's offense to grow up, minus Deshaun Watson, Mike Williams, Artavis Scott, and, of course, Wayne Gallman. Over to the hotlines we go here on the show that shakes the Southland. We got David wants to talk about season predictions. David, what's up, man?
Man, I want to, the last couple of years I've learned to trust Dabo and the coaches, and I've learned to not get as anxious about whether or not we're going to win a game or lose a game. But, this year, as opposed to the last couple of years where I was just super excited for the year, I'm a little more cautiously excited this year and a lot more intrigued about all the different possibilities. Having said that, I've, witnessed along with all the other Clemson fans and college football nation in general, all the games that we played over the last 2 years that we could have easily lost, but we found a way to win.
Yeah.
There are a lot of them. And people lose sight of how hard it is to win a college football game because we won 14 out of 15 in 2 years in a row. And we had Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's amazing. But this year, I keep struggling with it. I could see us going 11-1. If we do that, I think the loss is NC State. And I could see us going 9-3. And that doesn't mean I think we're going to be a bad team. I just think that this is going to be there are a lot of things that could happen. A lot of things can happen in any football game, but we've got a very difficult schedule. Having said that,
be quick, David.
Yeah, real quick. One thing that I think is going to be a saving grace for this team to go along with its defense, I think our turnovers are going to be way down this year.
Well, that's a key. And not only that, but the defense has to have some takeaways as well. Stay with us here on Fox Sports Radio.
Our 2017 iHeart Radio Music Festival, hosted by Ryan Seacrest. Over 20 of the greatest performers on the planet, September 22nd and 23rd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Listen to win your trip starting Monday.
Brought to you by Macy's. Macy's presents your opening act at the iHeartRadio Music Festival, Rising Star winner James Maslow. For new music and exclusive content from James Maslow and other hot artists, check out iHeartRadio.com/mstyleradio.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Your pet deserves high-quality health care. Your pet deserves the friendly, professional doctors and courteous staff at Midlands Veterinary Practice. We treat you and your pet like family by listening carefully to your concerns and addressing your pet's long-term healthcare needs. With the use of our latest state-of-the-art technology, like a therapeutic laser, we offer alternatives to drug therapy. At Midlands Veterinary Practice, we care for the most valuable pets, yours. Visit us at MidlandsVet.com on Facebook or Twitter, or contact us at 750-7387, 750-PETS.
ColumbiaHelpWanted.com salutes the Employee of the Month, the one employee you can't live without. The others, let's just call them Dave.
Hey, Dave, you missed yesterday's meeting. You said you'd be there.
True, Mr. Employee of the Month, but yesterday was opposite day, so when I said I was going, I actually meant I wasn't.
Wait, opposite day? So everything you said yesterday had the opposite meaning?
Right.
So, wait, when you told me you didn't have pink eye...
I actually have a raging case of it.
And when you said you finished the Q3 reports...
Haven't even started them.
Oh, well then, that must mean that when you were asking for a raise, you were really asking for a pay cut.
Touche, Mr. Employee of the Month. Touche.
If you don't mind hiring Daves, go to the National Job Boards. They may be free, but trust us, they'll cost you. But if you want Employees of the Month, go where smart local job seekers find good local jobs. ColumbiaHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
We don't discriminate against people named Dave. Dave is a common name, fun to say, and so we're using it as a catch-all for lackluster employees everywhere. Please don't write us to tell us you were insulted by this ad. That would be a real Dave move, Dave.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the Clemson Tigers, winners of the 2017 National Championship game.
A record of the delightful piece they're going to play this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, 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 your attention, please. Your attention, please. Your attention, please.
And now the moment we've been waiting for is here.
Something to tell you.
Que sera, sera. Oh, baby, baby, baby Lowell. What you doing to me over there, man? What you doing to me?
I've missed that song. I love that song so much I played it twice one time.
I really wonder if our not that one set of listeners are better than another. All listeners are great listeners, but what I would call the regular listeners who are here, the everyday kind of listeners, I wonder if they, even if you don't like hip-hop, I've had listeners call in before and go, Swanee, I really didn't like hip-hop, and now you play it, I kind of like some of the beats and the grooves and the energy that it brings. I mean, it's putting a smile on my face. Don't get me wrong. I'm a girl watcher. And that was good when you were playing that low, but something about hearing the beats. I mean, I popped up out my chair. I'm like, yeah, baby. Here we go. Clemson Sports Talk. I agree with David, what he said before the break there, Lowell, about this Clemson Tiger offense. They got to, one, protect the football. I mean, that's going to be huge for them this year, because I don't know that they have the offense to overcome stumbling blocks like that, turnovers deep in their own territory, just foolishness, giving up points defensively. I mean, that's no good. No bueno for this Clemson Tiger team. But defensively, where I'd love to see them win. Yesterday we talked about that defensive front. I want to see them win the turnover battle game after game after game. I want to see them putting points on the board defensively. I want the mindset of the 2017 Clemson defense to be, we are going to win games in spite of offensive troubles at times. You know, in spite of the offense maybe struggling, the defense is going to carry the weight, much like Alabama did last year.
Well, people talk about explosive offenses. You need an explosive defense this year if you're Clemson. Alabama had an explosive defense last year. They were returning a defensive touchdown just about every game.
Man, they were it was insane, and they should have had one against Clemson if Hunter Renfrow doesn't make the play of the year. I mean, can we be honest about that? Hunter Renfrow single-handedly saved the Clemson season by taking Ryan Anderson's legs out from underneath him. And that's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. I'm with you, Lowell, 100%. Explosive defense. We've kind of touched on this before, and I know the special teams play is huge. But I really believe in 2017 Clemson Tiger Nation, if you expect to get back to the college football playoff, you better see guys like Christian Wilkins toting the biscuit to the end zone. You might want to see Dorian O'Daniel going Neon Dion and putting his hand behind his head, high-stepping to the end zone, because that, my friends, is the difference maker, in my opinion. Trying to look here. Alabama, last season, gave up 13 points per game defensively. Trying to see if I could see how many points they scored. They had 54 sacks. Here we go. Nobody really tracks the touchdowns they had defensively.
I bet I can find that.
I'm looking here. I don't see it. I think they had. It was like one a game for the first. I don't know if it was 5 games. I can't remember exactly how many games they had scored a touchdown in.
They had 11 defensive touchdowns in 2016.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. 11 out of the 14 games they played prior to Clemson.
Right, because they had a pick six against Washington late in the second quarter, if you'll recall, in that playoff game, when that was actually still a ball game, and then that pick six kind of made things get away from Washington a little bit.
11 touchdowns last year defensively. Do you know how ridiculous that is?
Nobody else in FBS had scored more than 7.
I mean, that's bonkers, Lowell. That's unheard. You know what? That's Ruthian. That's Ruthian. That's like when Babe Ruth was hitting twice as many home runs as the rest of the league. And that's basically what Alabama's defense did. They basically scored more touchdowns than twice as much as everybody else. 803-978-1832. Tar Hizzle on the line with us tonight. Tar Hizzle, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, brother? I will say this about the little ones, man. When they, my little girl, I tried to steer in the right direction, tried to make her Tar Heel. Bless her heart, she pulled for the Gamecocks. Literally until she was a little bit older, it was Giovanni Bernard, it was Ryan Switzer that kind of converted her into a Tar Heel. Thank gosh she's wearing Carolina blue nowadays. But, I mean, don't fight it, because the more you fight it, the more they'll just continue to go the opposite way. So take it from me, I fought it, and it took me probably 4 or 5 longer years to convert her, and I had to put up with, like, South Carolina Gamecock colors in my house, which was brutal and ugly and everything else. But
right.
That is what it is. I did want to say this. I hear y'all talk about your offense, and this and that. I'm going to tell you right now, and it's an outsider looking in, and I don't want to give Clemson any props. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think this is the year that Dabo Swinney shows that, A, he's just reloading the 300 Magnum that he's been firing for the last 2 years. I mean, he's got 5 bullets in the gun, so don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. You got another shot at this thing. And at the other end of that is this. If I had confidence that Williams was leaving and that Mitch Trubisky would make our offense better and that we would have no issues offensively last year, y'all should have no issues whatsoever offensively this year. There's no question. If Larry Fedora could learn that there's actually 2 sides to a football game and build a defense and not a dance team that just dances around and watches them run by, then he might actually be a good football coach, but he hasn't figured that out yet. But the one thing I will say, offensively, I do not see Clemson having 18 turnovers. I'll go ahead and make the bet right now. I will donate $100 to any charity you'd like. I'd prefer it to be something military. If Clemson has 18 interceptions or turnovers by their quarterback this year, and because of that, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. I think they're going to have the best defense in the country, and they go back to the ACC championship this year. I do think it's going to be a little tougher road. I think if Louisville can keep some players from getting shot up, they're going to be really better on defense. Florida State's got an opportunity. I like what Miami's bringing to the table. And I think NC State's a dark horse that really could step up here and be something special. I think they're going to ruin somebody before they're really going to be that team that makes it.
Tar Heels, brother, top of the hour. We'll be back with more of the show that shakes the Southland.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Do you need lodging for your next Tigers game? To get a real game day experience, skip the hotel and stay close to campus in one of Rent Like a Champion's comfortable vacation homes. You can call Rent Like a Champion, a Mark Cuban company featured on ABC Shark Tank at 855-BIG-GAME to set up your weekend lodging today.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com. Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family-owned business right there at Ferry Chevrolet. No dock fees, no tricks, straightforward pricing in a low-pressure environment you'll love. Check them out online, ferrychevrolet.com, or call them 803-536-1600. It's Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, just a short 30-minute drive off of exit 145A in Orangeburg.
O'Reilly. Keep your windows clean and see clearer with Gunk Glass Cleaner. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy 1 bottle of Gunk Glass Cleaner and get 1 free. Gunk's high-performance ingredients clean glass and hard surfaces without leaving a film or residue. Gunk Glass Cleaner, buy 1, get 1 free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
iHeart
iHeart Radio wants nothing more than to bring you closer to your favorite artists.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
So we've updated the iHeart Radio app. No, it's an upgrade. All your favorite music and stations, easier to find. Getting you closer to the music you love with just a tap.
This is Taylor Momsen from The Pretty Reckless, and this is iHeart Radio.
All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. Download and open the new iHeart Radio app today.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400.
WCOS Columbia.
Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox Sports Trending now.
The Seattle Seahawks today gave Cam Chancellor a contract extension. He was entering the final year of his deal. Seahawks tacking on another $3, where $36 million, $25 million for Chancellor is guaranteed. The Chargers have sorted out their Hall of Fame fiasco. Antonio Gates and Phillip Rivers both wanted to attend the ceremony that will honor LaDainian Tomlinson on Saturday in Canton, Ohio, as he is enshrined. Gates is going to be at the event. Rivers is going to stay back with the Chargers at training camp. Panthers quarterback Cam Newton didn't throw at practice today. He's dealing with a sore shoulder. And the Falcons won't have their roof open at Mercedes-Benz Stadium to start the season, as they're still trying to automate that roof. When you're ready to experience a better way to sell or trade in your car, check out TrueCar.com/trade today. Dodgers' Yu Darvish will make his debut in an LA uniform Friday against the Mets. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set,
Just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
It is hour number 2. That's prime time right here on Fox Sports Radio, iHeart Radio. Lowell, the non-intern. He's at Lowell CST. You can follow him over there. Follow me at CST Show or at Clemson Sports. That's where you want to go. And thank you to everybody. 15,000 followers for us over on social media. Just blessed, man. Just absolutely blessed to do what we do here each and every day and to be a part of your evenings. Lowell, the producer extraordinaire and / staff writer, along with our good buddy Zach Lentz. They'll be keeping you covered during the college football season. ClemsonSportsTalk.com and a revamped website coming up in the next few weeks. Looking forward to that. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. Did Tar Heel go if their defense looks less like a dance team and more like a defense, they'll have a good year? Talking about Coach Larry Fedora there. Speaking of the state of North Carolina, coming up a little later in the hour, Inside Pack Sports' own James Henderson joins us to talk about the Wolfpack as the South Carolina Gamecocks will open the season. Neutral site game. Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the nature boy, Ric Flair. The Queen City, if you will. Feel the buzz around Charlotte. Lowell, you look concerned. You get this concerned look sometimes. I don't know if it's big words in the articles you're reading or whether there's actual concern. Big words?
No, I'm good.
Before we get back to those top games in 2017 to watch, Lowell, we were talking about the Alabama defense and how disgusting they were in 2016. And you found a mind-blowing statistic. You might want to prepare yourselves, people, because Lowell the intern is about to hashtag drop knowledge on the show that shakes the Southland.
Yeah, this came right before the national championship game between Clemson and Alabama. If Alabama had not scored a point on offense all year,
not 1 point on offense,
through 14 games,
yeah,
they would have been 6-8.
6-8 with no offensive scores.
Yep.
Is that not one of the most ridiculous things you've ever heard of?
11 defensive touchdowns will do that for you.
And I'm not even, I guess I'm not even trying to say that that's what Clemson needs to be. 11 touchdowns good this year. But last season, I believe the Tigers had, 2 defensive scores? You had Tanner Muse's interception return for a touchdown. And then, what was the other one? I can't place.
Well, you had one against South Carolina State where the returner dropped the ball in the end zone. I don't know if you count that.
No.
That counts. That's a score for your defense/special teams.
Defensive touchdowns. Yeah, that was not good, by the way. That was Ray McLeod.
That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in a football game.
Next to Clemsoning, that may be the thing we're trying to put to bed the most here on Clemson Sports Talk. Okay.
What, Ray McLeod?
Yeah.
Oh. I liked South Carolina State's dropping the football in the end zone.
Oh, that one.
That one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Not Ray's.
No. South Carolina State. Where he flips the
Right,
ball.
where he just flips the ball to the official. Okay, I forgot about that one.
That was one of the best things I've ever seen.
Which game was Ray's in?
Troy. The Troy game.
Okay.
I was sitting in the stands. I was the only one who noticed.
Oh, gosh.
I was the only one who noticed. I was like, wait. Somebody go pick the ball up. It's sitting there at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that didn't go so well, let's just say. Lowell, was there another touchdown I'm missing for the defense? I know Tanner Muse had his return. Let me look at the schedule. Georgia Tech, Louisville, Boston College, Florida. I don't remember another one. Do you, outside of Tanner Muse? We'll leave it at that. We'll just say there was only one.
Well, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna grind and see if I can find something.
All right. So Clemson's obviously got to do more there in that department, in my opinion, in 2017. So Lowell's gonna look up that information and get back with us. If you think of one, hit us up via the Ocean Reef Resort text line.
You would think you had more because, if I recall correctly, Clemson led the country in interceptions last year.
Yeah, but I don't think there was a return. I mean, you had a couple of long returns. Mark Fields, Boston College, Tiger Chris, coming strong. Yes, indeed, Tiger Chris. Shout out to you, my man. Mark Fields against Boston College. I think that was it, though. Remember, Fields breaks on that ball, takes it to the house. I don't think there was another one. You had a couple of really long. Thank you, Chris. Hit us up via the Ocean Reef Resort text line. That's 803-450-0086. You had a couple of long returns, but I don't think you had any touchdowns outside of Tanner Muse and Mark Fields. Mark Fields was a beautiful interception. That's one of those that's one where you just feel like your defender just gobbled it up and was like, that's my football. Yeah, out of the way. My football. I'm going to take that to the house now. Appreciate it, Tiger Chris, for hitting us up. If anybody else thinks of another one that we might have missed, because normally I would embrace like seeing a big boy dance in the end zone if there had been a big defensive lineman that got a touchdown.
By the way, Denzel Johnson recovered that fumble for touchdown.
Oh, yeah,
in the South Carolina
local
State
product.
Game. Should have an impact this year.
There we go. What a weird play. That kid, how bad do you feel for that guy? The fact that the ref didn't stop the play or catch the ball or anything either, that the ref was still in the moment that this is a live football. Because most people, if you kind of toss them the ball like that, they tend to catch it, no matter what.
He just looked at the guy and looked at the ball and was like, what do you want me to do with that?
Wow. Could you believe that play? I almost feel like they should have just had that be a down football. I mean, really. Would it have really mattered? It was 59-0. Would it have really mattered?
Do you count the safety in the Georgia Tech game?
No.
There was a lot of weird plays last season. There's a lot of weird plays. Do you remember that Georgia Tech safety?
It was an interception.
Deshaun throws the interception. The Georgia Tech player comes out, hits his own man.
Bounces.
The ball bounces back in the end zone, and they jump on it, and it's a safety. And 2 points for Clemson.
And our offense stays on the field.
Yep.
Yeah.
And scored a touchdown.
I remember that. That was a weird one. A very weird one. All right, let's get this countdown done here, Lowell. We started at hour number 1, and we've got an interview coming up with James Henderson from Inside Pack Sports coming up in about 10 minutes. So, number 7, we mentioned before, Clemson, Auburn, September the 9th. Again, mentioning the fact that Auburn's in the FPI, one of the top teams in college football. Many people believing this is a make-or-break year. Jarrett Stidham coming in as the quarterback. And when I say make-or-break year, I mean I really mean that in terms of Gus Malzahn and his security in Auburn. If they have a great year, good to great year, he's got some stability. If they have a rough year this year, he's probably in trouble next season. I mean, that's exactly where he is. And if he has a bad enough year and Alabama has a ton of success, don't think that the Auburn faithful wouldn't say, we'll look elsewhere. I'd have to look further at his contract to see what he's got lined up there. But I'm telling you, a bad year this year will put Gus Malzahn back on that hot seat. November 6th, best games to watch. How about Georgia traveling to Notre Dame, September the 9th? I love this matchup for so many reasons, simply because of the fact that this is one you don't get to see all that often. Anytime that a marquee program out of the SEC, a marquee program out of the ACC ventures in and plays somebody like a Notre Dame, like a Michigan, like a Southern Cal, you're going to get my attention. This has got my attention. The great running backs at Georgia this year with Nick Chubb and Sony Michel, both of those guys, again, as good as they are, have to stay healthy. That's a big key. Now, for Notre Dame, must-win game because Brian Kelly, I mentioned this earlier, they went 4-8 last season, and the hot seat is red hot for Brian Kelly, who you would go back 2 years ago in that Clemson-Notre Dame game. Coming into that game, Brian Kelly was one of the top, one of the coaches seen as one of the top in college football. Well, now, after last season's disappointing letdown, and I think perhaps the mismanagement of his quarterback situation with Deshaun Kaiser and Malik Zaire, he's on the hot seat. And it wasn't that long ago. Brian Kelly is the prime example to teach you how quickly you can go from being the most sought-after head coach at Cincinnati to a guy who is looking for a new job. In the blink of an eye, it can happen. Number 4 on this list, Penn State, Ohio State. This might be my number 2. And the reason that I say this might be my number 2 is because Penn State in 2016 got left out of the college football playoff, yet they beat Ohio State. They won their conference, and then they had to go watch Ohio State throw up their logo on the screen for 4 hours against Clemson with that big goose egg, 31-0. I mean, this would be, for me, maybe the must-watch game in college football.
Honestly, USC or Penn State would have given Clemson a tougher time than Ohio State did. It was a bad matchup, and it's what we talked about before the game. Offensively for Ohio State, it was a bad matchup against Clemson's front. I think USC or Penn State, a team who can go vertical, would have been a way tougher matchup.
Remember Nick Schuessler beat them in the official Clemson Sports Talk scrimmage because Deshaun got hurt in the first quarter, and Schuessler was just beating them like a drum. And I remember we were both thinking, oh my gosh, if Nick Schuessler's beating them like that in this scrimmage, what's Deshaun gonna do? Well, beat them in real life pretty bad. Penn State at Ohio State, October the 28th. Again, chip on your shoulder if you're Coach Franklin, right? A huge chip on your shoulder. There may not be a bigger chip in college football in 2017 than that one. You had all the reason to be in the college football playoff, except that Penn State doesn't resonate quite like Ohio State. Number 3, Oklahoma, Ohio State, September the 9th. This matchup last season was the reason Ohio State got into the college football playoff, because they went to Norman, Oklahoma, and they spanked an Oklahoma team that was probably overrated at the time. They had lost to Houston. They then lost to Ohio State. They went on a great run to end the season. But again, I'm not sure Oklahoma is as great as everybody continues to give them credit for. This will be a deciding year on that front in terms of Lincoln Riley and Baker Mayfield. You know, they've lost some real pieces. Dede Westbrook's gone now. They've got some pieces to replace there. There's no doubt about that.
Samaje Perine.
Joe Mixon, who shouldn't have been playing but was there and gone. So we'll see what happens with them in terms of in terms of their offense and their offensive chemistry with a new head coach as Lincoln Riley takes over. He's an offensive guy, though, and he's been there. He was the offensive coordinator. But that's a game at Ohio State this year. I see no reason to believe Ohio State will lose it. Number 2, Florida State at Clemson, November the 11th. You're talking about a showdown in the Atlantic Coast Conference. The winner of that game probably poised for the college football playoff. The loser probably just chasing the other's rear end the rest of the season, hoping that there can be a couple of stumbling blocks in the way. But at that point on November 11th, not a lot left for the Tigers to take care of. So, again, big matchup there. 2 perennial top 5 teams over the last 3 or 4 years in Clemson and Florida State. And finally, Florida State and Alabama. Shocker here, right? Potentially the best matchup in the history of college football to ever open a season. Florida State gets Derwin James back. I had my interview at the ACC kickoff with DeAndre Francois. Gutty. The kid's gutty. He picks himself up. You don't have to like him, but you better respect him because he's going to take hits and he's going to keep getting up. Alabama, the freight train that they are, can you imagine how this season could turn if they lose the opener? Just in terms of the expectations of the Atlantic Coast Conference's Florida State Seminoles, the potential that 2 teams from the ACC could get into the college football playoff at that point as well. I mean, that's another thing that the ACC could begin to believe might be a possibility. If Florida State were to go in there and take care of Alabama, if they put up big points offensively, beat Alabama, say something like 35-14 or 35-17, you really put something on Alabama that turpentine won't take off, Lowell. You go and do that. You run out the ACC and have one little small blemish on the road at Clemson, and the rest of the conferences kind of fall by the wayside? You telling me you couldn't see a situation where 2 teams get into the college football playoff?
Well, let's say Florida State runs the table. Let's say they beat Alabama and they win at Clemson. Well, if Auburn's as good as everyone's making them out to be and Clemson has a win over Auburn and they're 11-1, that's another path for the ACC to get 2 teams in.
The Atlantic Coast Conference could be the first conference to ever place 2 teams into the college football playoff, and a lot of that could hinge on what happens in that season opener between Alabama and Florida State. And it has so much to do with the respect that Alabama is given and the fact that Clemson and Florida State play very late in the season. Not to mention that by the time the Tigers would get to that matchup against Florida State, they would have played, as Lowell mentioned, Auburn. They would have played on the road Louisville. They would have played on the road Virginia Tech. They would have played on the road NC State. Okay? And if you've done that and you're unscathed, heading into that matchup against Florida State, both teams, I guess, 9-0 at that point, look out, my friend. Because a close matchup, really either way, could give the winner and the loser still a chance. And let's not forget, Florida State's probably the team that has the better opportunity, Lowell, to rebound from the loss to Clemson if that's their only blemish, simply because of the fact that they play Florida. And if Florida is a contender in the SEC East or the winner of the SEC East, for Florida State to beat perhaps the winner of the West and then the winner of the East in the final game might be exactly what they need. We're coming back with James Henderson from Inside Pack Sports.
Our July bridal show was such a tremendous success, we're doing it again. If you cater to the bridal market and want to be in front of hundreds of new clients in just one afternoon, listen up. Showcase your business to hundreds of potential clients. Network with other wedding pros, and most importantly, book business. 104.7 WNOK presents the Fall Bridal Showcase, September 17th at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. Also presented by Southern Way Catering, Carolina Bride Magazine, American Floral, and Columbia Bridal Associates. Reserve your space before it's too late at bridecityshows.com. That's bridecityshows.com.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Looking for South Carolina's favorite country? You'll find it at 97.5 WCOS.
Lowell, the intern, dropping that 50 cent a couple of times here today. That's two 50-cent songs, Lowell. I'm picking up what you're putting down over there, my man.
I thought you were saying I played this song twice. I was about to be concerned.
No, you didn't. You didn't. But you played 2 songs by 50 Cent, which is good enough for me. 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. James Henderson joining the program here. InsidePackSports.com is the website. James, welcome in, man. Appreciate your time. Going to talk about the Wolfpack and their season opener up in Charlotte against the South Carolina Gamecocks. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. Thanks for having me tonight, guys.
Man, no doubt about it. And I tell you what, listen, this is the great thing for us. We hit our 2-a-days here officially in August. We're covering the Clemson's opening opponent, and then, of course, South Carolina's opening opponent tonight. And, you know, thinking about this game between NC State and South Carolina, when I was a kid, these two teams played, I want to say it was probably around 1984, 1985, somewhere in there, maybe even a little earlier than that. But this is a matchup that I think needs to happen much more frequently. I just like this matchup in the feel. What's the vibe there in the state of North Carolina, in the capital city of Raleigh, in terms of the matchup versus the South Carolina Gamecocks?
Well, I think there's obviously a lot of interest, especially this year. I think both teams are coming into the season with some expectations. I don't really know how high South Carolina is. I know NC State, there's a lot of expectations right now. And so any time for them, you get a chance to go against an SEC opponent. A lot of people use that as sort of like a benchmark. You know, they ended the year with a win against Vanderbilt in the bowl game, and they opened the season with South Carolina. So I think for NC State, you know, there's a lot of hype around this game because they're hoping it can kind of jumpstart a special season for them.
You know, and I saw Coach Doran at the ACC kickoff and had a chance to hear him, had a chance to kind of stand beside him. I did a little eavesdropping even on some of his conversations, and very confident in this year. And I know that last season, you know, with that 7-6 record, not exactly what he was looking for in his 5th year, but it sure feels like defensively they've got the pieces in place. In terms of hot seat, not seat, you know, where is he right now amongst the majority of the fans?
Well, I think fans want to see, obviously, NC State win more games than they did last year. I think Doran's confidence comes from the fact that they feel like they were better than that record. You know? I mean, if you look at the Clemson game, they had a kick to win it in the last in the last couple of seconds. I mean, that's a game they felt like they let get away. Florida State, they missed 2 field goals and dropped an interception. I think they were up 4 with 2.5 minutes left and dropped an interception in the end zone that would have probably sealed that game. Ended up giving up a touchdown, lost that game. ECU missed 2 field goals, lost by 3. So, I mean, I think they feel like they played well enough to win 9, maybe 10 games last year. So I think there's a lot of confidence because the majority of the top players on last year's team are returning for NC State. So they're really excited about this season. They feel like they got a chance to do something special.
InsidePackSports.com is the website, and follow James on Twitter at InsidePackSport. I look and look a little further down the line, even so for NC State, and you got a road game at Florida State, road game at Notre Dame. You're taking on the Clemson Tigers there in the rematch of that matchup that went down to the wire in Death Valley. And there is no easy schedule any longer in the ACC. When it was Clemson and Maryland before Florida State came in, you could find some pretty simple schedules for some of these teams. Nowadays, though, with the addition of Notre Dame playing 5 games in the conference, this thing's ramped up, not to mention you guys host Louisville on a Thursday night. And listen, I've been to Raleigh. I know how you guys like to get on Thursday night football games.
Right, and I think it's even more magnified on the Atlantic side right now.
Yeah.
When you've got Clemson, Louisville, Florida State. I mean, I think probably over the last 3 years, they've been the 3 best programs in the whole conference, much less that division. So, I mean, I know teams like NC State and Wake Forest and Syracuse, they're kind of looking at it like, wow, I mean, we're being compared to North Carolina and Duke within the state of North Carolina, and they don't have to deal with those 3 guys every year. But so I think it's really magnified on the Atlantic. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's not an easy schedule. I see a lot of NC State fans that often want to try and compare Doran's job to guys like Mike O'Kane and Dick Sheridan, who coached in the 80s and 90s. And you're completely right. It's a different brand of ACC football right now. There's just more teams, more talented teams. It's up there with the best conferences in the country. And I think before Florida State came in, I don't think anybody would have said that. And right now, I mean, you've got 4, maybe 5 top 25 teams every year.
James Henderson, InsidePackSports.com is his website. Check him out over there on the internet or on your mobile device. And James, as I look at this team, I've seen some projections that they may actually have the best defensive line in the country. And being somebody that covers the Clemson Tigers, I know how talented Clemson's defensive front is going to be this year. Talk to us a little bit about Bradley Chubb and the other guys up front and what you all at Inside Pack Sports expect to see from those guys defensively in 2017.
Well, I think NC State's advantage is their experience. I don't know if you can make a case that they're as purely talented as some teams. I mean, I live 10 minutes from Dexter Lawrence, so I knew all about him as a 9th grader down at Clemson. I mean, I think he might be the most talented player in the ACC, but wow. He is a sophomore. He's a true sophomore, and when you've got a team, I think NC State's defensive line, I think they've got 4 3-year starters, on their defensive line, 4 seniors, and they're backed up by Darian Roseborough, who's a true junior, who I think he had 7 sacks last year as a backup. So I think that's where State's strength lies, is the experience they have. But those guys are talented as well. I mean, Bradley Chubb, I think he got a 2nd-round grade when he put his name in for the draft last year. He surprised a lot of people by returning. I think there was a thought that if he would have went into the draft and went to the combine and showed what he could do, he would have probably rose up the boards. But you look now, I mean, he's a projected top 15 pick at defensive end. Contavious Street, their other starting defensive end, he's the best athlete on NC State's team. We're talking about a guy who's 290 pounds, who can vertical jump 40 inches, squats over 700 pounds, benches over 500. I think he ran a 4.63 laser. I mean, he's just a freak athlete. And, they're really talented at defensive tackle. So they have a lot of talent, but I think the key to them is just that experience they have. You've got 4 3-year starters up there, and that carries a lot of weight these days in the ACC.
When you look also at this NC State team, I can't help but think about the fact that the offensive line at practice gets to go up against a defensive line like that. And it's a veteran offensive line for NC State as well this year. In terms of what that – listen, I'm not a coach. I'm still undefeated, though. That's a good thing. But In terms of what that may mean for this team long term, you're going up against that Clemson defensive front. You're going up against that Florida State defensive front. How much value, James, do you put into the fact that this offensive line is the majority upperclassmen and veteran, and they get to practice against these guys day to day?
Well, I think it's huge, like you said. They're returning 4 offensive line starters, and the guy that they lost, he was replaced last year for a couple of games by the other men returning. So they feel like they've got 5 returning starters. And so, I mean, football to me, it starts, and I mean, I'm sure this is a cliche. Everybody probably says it, but it starts in the trenches. And when you look at NC State's team, I mean, you got 4 senior defensive linemen starting, all returning. You've got 4 starting offensive linemen who are juniors, redshirt juniors, all returning starters. And then the other guys are redshirt juniors. So, I mean, that's the core. That's the strength of their team. And Dorn, I think they do it right. One.
Oh, you broke up for a second. Say that again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying that Dorn and his staff, they do make a point during practices to go ones versus ones a lot, to really try and let those guys go against each other, like you said, because if you go against that defensive line, if you go against that offensive line in practice, you're going to be prepared for South Carolina when the season comes around.
James, man, best of luck to you guys at InsidePackSports.com and also on Twitter at InsidePackSport. Appreciate everything you do for us here on Clemson Sports Talk, and look forward to talking to you again real soon, my man.
Thanks, guys.
There he is, James Henderson, insightful. You know what they say, Lowell? You know what they say about InsidePackSports.com?
What do they say?
It is the Kentavious Street of NC State sites. Basically, squat 700 pounds, 4 whatever laser time 40. It's the most freakish website out there for NC State people, man. That's where you get all the goods. Surprised you didn't know that, Lowell. InsidePackSports.com.
No, I didn't. It's the first time I'm hearing it.
You know, when he said that about Mr. Street, I was thinking, man, it kind of reminds me of my intern, just the total package. I mean, what can I say, right? Appreciate James Henderson joining us again from InsidePackSports.com. 803-978-1832. It is the show that shakes the South Lane here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. I'm Lawton Swan. He's Lowell, the producer. Stay with us.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, HealthSource is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
From the two men in a truck, movers who care, weather centered, shaping up to be a nice night with gradually cooling temperatures, eventually overnight lows near 70 degrees under mostly clear skies. On Wednesday, another nice day, high temperatures reaching for the lower 90s, lots of sunshine. For Channel 25, ABC Columbia, I'm meteorologist Greg Armbrecht.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
When Marlon Shirley was 5, he lost his foot. Today, as the world's fastest amputee, he runs the 100 meters in less time than it takes to listen to this. Overcoming. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show now at 978-1832 or text 803-450-0086.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan, Lowell the intern, letting the albatross loose here on the show that shakes the Southland. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to not call you Lowell the intern, Lowell. It is your public persona. Like, people walk up to him and they say things like, when I say this is Lowell, they say, Lowell the intern? I mean, they know. They know you as Lowell the intern. Whether he is or isn't is beside the point. 803-978-1832. Don't forget you can text us via the Ocean Reef Resort text line. By the way, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. You can watch the show over there, and our brand new Clemson Sports Talk wallpapers are available on Twitter at Clemson Sports. We've got 3 for your phone, 1 for your computer. Let us know what you think about them, retweet them, and be a part of the program. Anthony Cook, a name that many people will know, of course, from a news note that came out a couple of weeks ago, as he did not attend the All-In Cookout, released his top 3 yesterday. He is a 5-star cornerback. Clemson, many people expected would be there. Unfortunately, not. Didn't make the cut. LSU, Texas, and Ohio State. Lowell the intern, you got a little bit of a smirk on your face over there for a reason?
Nope.
Okay, then. He is none other than Lowell the intern. And do we have someone on the phone lines with us, Lowell?
We have quite a few.
Oh, my gracious, we do. We do. All right, let's go Hollywood. Hollywood! Man, glad to know you're okay, buddy. Hadn't heard from you in a while. What's up?
Yeah, it's getting that time of year, so you perk everything up. But, I listened to you. I've been listening for the last hour and a half, sitting in the backyard, how you give Florida no respect. I hear the Alabama, and which I don't think going. I think Alabama lose 3 ball games this year.
They might. I'm not taking away from Florida. I just said that Florida is probably going to play in the SEC championship, and I said that Florida State, if they were to beat Alabama in the opener, lose to Clemson, but then beat Florida at the end of the year, and have that one loss beat Clemson, but have beaten both teams playing in the SEC title, that's a pretty good argument for maybe squeezing in the extra ACC team in the college football playoff, wouldn't you say?
And that's a good topic. Ain't no doubt. I can see, much as I hate to say it, I can see Florida State possibly beating Alabama. I am dead serious.
Yeah. Listen, that's going to be a great matchup. Great matchup.
Yes. Like I said, I think Alabama. The handwriting's on the wall of Alabama. Clemson showed them that. Everybody I've seen with Alabama against a good running quarterback, Alabama do not have a chance.
How you think your Gators are going to do this year, Hollywood?
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think that we're gonna be. We got some things. We're gonna shock some people. They talking about Georgia. I don't have no worries. I don't have no worries about the Georgia Bulldogs.
How you like that Michigan opener?
I love it.
You know what? I like it too, and I respect you guys because rarely have you guys gone somewhere and played a game. And I know this isn't technically on the road, but I like that matchup, man.
I love
it.
I love it. Down there in Big D.
Kind of got that bowl feel, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. Yes, it does. I like that. But you know what I want to? I wish we could put y'all on the schedule. I would love to play Clemson in an opener like that.
Me and you both. I'd love that, man. I'd love you guys to play at Death Valley and us to play in the swamp. Yeah.
Yeah, a home and home thing. Yeah, I would like to see that.
All over it, man. Well, Hollywood, listen, we're glad to hear from you. Call us anytime, buddy, and keep us updated on those Florida Gators. You got a tough schedule.
No doubt.
Tough schedule.
No doubt.
All right, buddy. Listen, man, they got Michigan, neutral site, third game home against Tennessee. They got LSU midseason at home, Texas A&M midseason back-to-back, that neutral site game against Georgia and Jacksonville, Florida State at the end of the year. Come on now. That's tough, man. Jim McElwain, though, he's a good head coach. We'll see. We'll see if he can get that offense purring down there for the Florida Gators. Scott's on the line. Scott, what's going on, man?
Hey, Lawton.
How you been, bud?
Man, I've been all right, but you know what? You rarely ever disappoint me.
Uh-oh.
But I was listening to you earlier on them top 15 games to watch.
Sure.
And not only did you not have them in the top 15, they should have been number one. And that's going to be the second rematch between Clemson and Alabama in the national championship game.
The three match. Okay. So the game if that one happens, that'll be at the top of my list.
I thought it might be.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Hey, listen, do you really buy, Scott, that these two teams could get back? I mean, are you in that camp?
Yes, I am. I think it can happen.
Man, it would be an incredible run for both of those teams. Scott, listen, I think you're about 2,500 miles in the lead right now on the Clemson Sports Talk Swanee Award for 2017 for the Traveling Man.
Well, heck, I can't remember if I reported on last week or not. I think I did, though.
Yeah, you did. I got the spreadsheet going. You're well out in front.
All right, yeah, well, I'm working on about 2,800 for this week, so.
Well, listen, if you don't punch them in, they're unofficial. We're going to hold you to it.
All right.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Be good, Scott. Scott's the Traveling Man. Always listening to us all over the country. And finally, here in this segment, O-Line's on the line. O-Line, what's up?
Howdy, Clem Swan.
Doing it, man. Good to hear from y'all tonight. That makes me feel – it's August, baby. College football season.
I agree with Hollywood. Florida's going to shock the world. They're going to lose about 5 games and be looking for another football coach. North Carolina State, they're going to end up 6-6 again if they don't find the kicker. I saw earlier in the year where they had signed a field goal kicker from like Wofford or somewhere to not signed, but giving him a full scholarship. I looked at his record. He was like 7 out of 13.
Huh.
What? You got to be kidding me. If you're going to waste a scholarship on a kicker, wouldn't you want him to at least be like 12 out of 13?
That was something like that would be a little bit better, huh? Maybe it was long ones. Maybe it was 50 plus.
Well, anyway, I think y'all gonna find out this year. You know what David SG was talking about as far as a lot of close games last year.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna find out if Watson won those close games, or if it was the stinking genius of Dabo Swinney that won those losses.
Well, that's a great point. And I mean, that's the thing you lose when you lose a guy like Deshaun Watson, is that innate ability to be confident even under the greatest amounts of pressure. Stay with us. Final segment coming up.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Get ready for an incredible event for the Midlands. Thursday, August 24th, 97.5 WCOS presents Montgomery Gentry at the Township Auditorium. Help us raise money for Hearts and Hands Disaster Recovery, helping meet the needs of disaster victims in the Midlands. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com or at 975WCOS.com. Montgomery Gentry with special guest, the Grascals. Thursday, August 24th, Montgomery Gentry, live at the Township Auditorium from Hearts and Hands Disaster Recovery. Racing Aces Marketing and 97.5 WCOS.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
Some sad news to report here. Lowell the intern.
Am I being fired?
No, somebody ran into the national championship sign off I-95 North coming into the state from Georgia. The Clemson University sign is down, apparently. Somebody hit it. It's pretty flat. Messed up. I hope the people that hit it aren't injured, but yeah, somebody.
What if they hit it on purpose?
And what would really be something is it was Dawn Staley driving the car that hit it, took it out and just.
We can only have one national championship sign in this state.
Conveniently missed the South Carolina one right beside it. You know, there's nothing more ironic, though, than coming up. How often, let me ask you this, Lowell. How often do you drive up I-95? Not often. When's the last time you drove up I-95? Coming back from the national championship game, maybe?
I didn't go to the national championship game, unfortunately.
Whoops. Sore subject.
Yeah. Thanks.
Coming from Miami. Last January.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Right there at Walterboro. It's the exit sign off the interstate is 63 and 17. And it looks like a scoreboard up there. Have you seen that?
I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah. When we go to my dad's beach house, we pass that thing on the way back all the time. And every time I want to get my phone out. Simply because I think it's a unique sign. Not really trying to say anything about, the score or anything from the Clemson South Carolina game in 2003. That's just coincidence of why I like that sign. Lowell the intern, great show tonight. I mean, I had a lot of fun. We had Alan Moff on from Kent State. If you want to get a little inside scoop on the Golden Flashes, Clemson's home opener. We had James Henderson from Inside Pack Sports. It really feels like college football season for me now, Lowell. Thank you for lining up these 2 days. Lowell the producer, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we have one guest confirmed for tomorrow. Josh Vitale covers Auburn football. So we will have an Auburn guest on tomorrow, and I'm working on getting a Missouri guest for our South Carolina fans.
All right. Well, listen, that sounds good to me. I'm loving the 2 days. It's going to be a feature of the show over the next, 12 episodes, I guess, of Clemson Sports Talk. We're hoping potentially we may have a day or two that we have to extend or somebody may not be able to join us. But this will get us up until about the midpoint of August. And then, I mean, really the attention is going to turn towards Clemson tomorrow as the Clemson Tigers, again, have their weigh in. You've got practice beginning coming up on the 3rd. You know, this is it, man. It's here. It's fall camp. It is time to determine who that starting quarterback is going to be. I mean, we can talk about it till we're blue in the face over the next month. But in a month, we're going to know because there'll be a definitive guy that's going to be walking out there on the field as the starter. Is he a sole survivor that's out there by himself all year? Is it quarterback by committee? Is it a freshman? Is it an upperclassman? I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to be decided here in the next 30-plus days as we make our way towards the college football season, which is really, really a lot of fun. And speaking of a lot of fun, man, our new website, when you see it, you guys are going to be blown away. It is incredible. I cannot wait to share that with Clemson Tiger Nation. Zach Lentz with a great article up today over on ClemsonSportsTalk.com about Jadar Johnson. Of course, Jadar Johnson retired from the NFL. Great article by Zach Lentz, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. And we put out earlier our 3 new iPhone wallpapers and our wallpaper for your computer at home. So all of those are out on social media, either at Clemson Sports on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter and you're on Facebook, just search for us, Clemson Sports Talk. They're all posted over there. Lowell, have you updated your background yet to reflect the new Clemson Sports Talk schedule wallpaper for 2017?
I have.
How's it look? Looks really good, actually.
We're all set up here.
Ooh, that's sharp, man.
I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I tried.
Turn it around. Let me see. Yeah, they can get a sneak peek of it. They can kind of see it a little bit. Again, Clemson Sports Talk, or excuse me, at Clemson Sports on Twitter, at Clemson Sports Talk on Facebook. 803-978-1832. Loved having, O-line, Scott, and Hollywood in the last segment. We got off the air, and I turned the camera off, and I kind of celebrated a little bit simply because of the fact that segment felt like what we were used to in college football season. I mean, that's the way this show is when things get rolling. And I understand the dark days of summer and the grind that it is. That's part of the reason we go with the beach music, because it kind of gives us something different for a few weeks, helps us count down the time, and makes it fun and engaging in terms of a different feel and vibe to the show. But, man, it was nice to be back to the old classics. Matter of fact, we need to get Rob Sanders or Lowell the Intern 1 to hook us up with some fresh new cuts, some fresh new music. There's a lot of great songs out there. Did you know Miley Cyrus had a sister? Noah?
No.
Noah Cyrus. She has a hit song right now, one of the top songs in the country.
Never heard of her.
Did I say it was a her?
You said sister.
Okay, because the name was Noah. I was about to say, well, how did you know it was a girl if you didn't know who it is? I did say her? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you said sister.
Yeah, she also has a brother that's apparently a singer, but must not be a very good one. But the younger sister's got a great song that's out there right now.
Only 17 years old.
Where's her song rated right now in the country, her top song? Can you get the Billboard Top 100 real quick? I bet you it's top 10. I don't know the name of it. Lowell's digging. He's got his Google machine going. He checks the clock. Can he deliver before the top of the hour? That's the key question here.
It's called Make Me Cry.
Yeah.
Released February 18th.
Okay.
Says.
I'll be shocked if it's not top 10.
Billboard.
Shocked.
Billboard Hot 100. It's number 46.
What's the highest it's been? Is it climbing now?
It says chart history. It's just at 46.
Huh.
Let me see. Let me see.
That song's going to the top. It's going to the top 10. I'm telling you. It's a good song. It's a good little jingle. I was listening to it, and the person said, I don't remember if it was our boy JR over here at 104.7, but whoever it was said, might be Greg Appleby. He was filling in today, but it said Noah Cyrus. I'm like, is that a guy? And I looked up. No, it's her sister. 803-978-1832. That's the way to be a part of the program here during our 2 hours. 803-450-0086. That's the text line brought to you by the by the Ocean Reef Resort.
I'm looking at the charts.
Yes.
Peak position. It was number 1 on Australia Hit Seekers.
That counts for something.
Now, it looks like the highest it's been in the U.S. U.S. mainstream top 40 on Billboard had it at 22. Billboard top 100 or Hot 100 was at 46. U.S. dance/mix show airplay, also Billboard, number 40.
What's the name of it again? Make Me Cry?
Yes.
Can I play it for you when we go off the air?
I kind of wish you would.
Well, I want to, because whenever you text me that you're going to be here, it makes me want to cry. So I kind of feel like it's a song. It's a request and dedication.
Well, I'll just tell those guests tomorrow to not bother, because we're not. I'm canceling.
Lowell the producer on Twitter at LowellCST. I am Lawton Swan. We'll be back tomorrow for some more Hurry Up, No Huddle sports talk for you right here on the show that shakes the Southland. As always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Hi, my name is Donald Kidwell, current owner of CrossFit Iron Mary's. After finding CrossFit in 2012, I lost 128 pounds. At CrossFit Iron Mary's, you're not a barcode, you're an actual person. Where you are now is not important. Where you want to be is. 3 locations to reach your fitness goals in Columbia: the Old Mill in Lexington, Trotter Road in West Columbia, and downtown near the Carolina Baseball Stadium. Check us out online at CrossFitIronMarys.com or give us a call at 803-414-9601. Set up your first set of free classes today at CrossFit Iron Mary's, 803-414-9601.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our